So let's talk about now a very popular topic on X, which is the algorithm. Now, everybody likes to blame the algorithm and put shit on the algorithm because they don't really like to take responsibility for their poor content. Now, I'm not saying the algorithm is never screwed up. Sometimes it is screwed up, but the majority of the time, people take the safe route and just blame the algorithm instead of fixing whatever they do. So let's jump straight in. I'm going to explain a little bit about the algorithm so you can better understand it and how you can sort of work with it instead of having to blame it all the time for your poor content. So the one thing I want to be very clear on is you shouldn't be a slave to the algorithm. Before we get into understanding how it works and how you can work with it, it's important to mention that even though the algorithm does have an effect on your actions, it's best not to act solely with the algorithm in mind. So don't post and alter it to better suit the algorithm. Obviously, if your post has a ton of racial slurs and misinformation, then fair enough. But if your post goes against what the algorithm wants you to do, you shouldn't just change it for that reason. You need to work with it, but don't alter your content just for its purposes. So let's dig into now how you can work with the algorithm. Talk about consistency first. This isn't just an algorithm need, it's also a success need. You've got to get into your head right now that in order to succeed on X with your personal branding journey, you need to show up every single day and you need to put the work in. The algorithm rewards people who do that too. So if you're constantly on the platform pushing out content, it's going to push you to more people as you're actively using this platform. And it wants to show people who are posting and creating. It's not going to show people who are just never posting. If you did never ever post, why would it show you? So it's beneficial to post every single day as you get shown more. So that the more content you push, the more real estate you take up. The more real estate you take up, the more the algorithm will push you to people. Engagement. I preach engagement like no tomorrow. It's one of the main reasons I'm where I am today. So I'll always reply to people who reply to me, and I'll always talk to people under their own tweets. The algorithm loves this because you're being social. It's social media. At the end of the day, it's a social media platform. It likes socialism. Comments, they're worth more than likes. Reposts and quotes all put together because comments encourage interaction. So if you've got a post that hundreds of people are underneath discussing and you're joining them, then your reach is going to soar because of the socialization. So comment as much as you can and reply to every single person who replies to you. Real estate. Now, when I say real estate, I mean the amount of space you take up with your content on the timeline. So if someone is scrolling through their timeline and it's just you posting fire over and over again, that can be regarded as you taking up real estate. So the more real estate you take up with your fire content, the more likely people will follow you and the more the algorithm is going to push you out there. The algorithm loves volume, but it also loves when you're posting a ton of content that fosters interactions. So if you can take up a ton of real estate on the timeline with content that people just have to interact with, guess what? Your reach is going to go up. So make sure everything you post doesn't sacrifice any quality, however. You shouldn't post unless it's absolutely fire. I always like the saying, say something because you've got something to say, not because you have to say something. And the last part I just want to cover is just be social. Social media at the end of the day, so be social. The algorithm is pushing socialization and interacting so hard at the moment, so take advantage of it. Talk to people on the timeline as often as you can. Reply to every single person under your posts as much as you can. Talk to people in the DMs. The more active you are, the more the algorithm is going to push you to other people.